I'm excited about today's video because it's actually something I've done to our Model 3 that I'm sitting in right now. I did this quite a while ago, and some of you did get a sneak peek of it on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter. So if you follow us there, you already know I have this, but I've actually installed a new set of taillights on this Model 3. I just haven't yet had the time to really put a video together to show you these, and I wanted to spend some time to make sure that they were good quality and that they were going to work well for the long term. These are plug and play. You don't have to do anything special. This is for the Model 3 and the Model Y. And the nice thing is, I didn't know this when I first got the package, is it actually gives you all the wiring that you need regardless of which generation of the Model 3 or the Model Y that you have. So some of the older Model 3s have a different wiring setup than the current ones, and the Model Y has the current setup as well. So all that is included. The nice thing is, if you have a more recent build, you do not have to install all of the wiring. Everything is pretty straightforward. This is not a hard install. I would say, without having to film and set up cameras, this is probably a 45-minute install. It's pretty simple. There's only a couple of bolts you remove, and then you're basically just plugging wires in and running those to areas where you can tuck them away. So very easy install. And one of the things that I've noticed lately anyways is, now that we have a lot of Teslas on the road, it's getting harder and harder to set yours apart and make it look different. And I think that this is one way to do that, to make it just a little bit different, a little bit more of an updated look on the back of the car. Another thing that's actually cool about these taillights is when they're not illuminated, it's actually tinted. So it's got a nice tinted dark look to it, which goes well with the blackout look of the Model 3 and the Model Y that it comes with today. So it kind of gets rid of all that shiny look that you have on the back. It's actually quite a bit brighter too than the factory lights, and has a really cool pattern. When you start up the car, it actually goes through the sequence. It looks actually really cool, but it does it every time, which is pretty neat. And the turn signals look pretty cool too. So I'm actually a big fan of these. I think they look really cool, and quite honestly, they're a pretty reasonable price. They're less than $500, which I think when this style originally came out, it was closer to $800 to $1,000. So they're under $500, and plus with code BTG, I think there's another $10 there to save. But I've got links in the description for everything for your convenience if you're interested in this. But the install, again, could not be easier. I have seen people be able to run these wires the way you're supposed to, which is through this weatherproof housing that houses the wires for the liftgate. I could not for the life of me get them through, and I gave up. So I actually electrical taped the wiring along that. So you're welcome to do what works best for you, but it is not worth the effort trying to get those wires through. You definitely need a tape to do that, and even then it is quite a challenge. So that's one little step I did a little bit different than what you're probably supposed to, but is what it is. So anyways, take a look at this, see if this is something you're interested in. It is not a hard install, just another way to add a little bit of a different flair to the look of your Tesla, whether it's a Model 3 or a Model Y. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the install. So there you have it. That is the install. Pretty easy, as you can see. This was not a complicated install. About 45 minutes, I would say, on average to get this done. It's not that difficult of a job to do, and it is plug and play, which is great. Just plug it, put everything back together, and go about your way. So again, just under 500 bucks. I'd say $470, $480. Code BTG will save you about 10 bucks on this, and you can get this nice new look that's a little bit different on your Model 3 or your Model Y. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bearded Tesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.